Is that peppermint I smell? Gingerbread? The smell of warm apple pie? Oh man, it's looking like it's December. Oh wow, actually no, it really is December. Oh dang. I guess it's the best time to talk about this now. You know, when it starts to get to the Christmassy season, you see the lights, the decorations, the overpriced items that some people don't even freaking want for the holidays. It also means that it's time to watch Christmas specials, and I do love me a good Christmas special. One of my favorites is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I love that one for some reason. I don't know why. I literally made them as Sims on my other channel. That's literally how much I love that one. But there's another one that has a special place in my heart. Probably a special place in everyone's hearts, knowing all of the weird memes and TikTok videos that I've seen based off of it. It's the Grinch. The original Grinch book released in 1957, before 90% of the people watching this video was born, and it had its first ever adaptation in 1966. Followed by its second adaptation that I know about in 2000, followed by the one that came out in 2018. Let me let you guess which one I'm talking about today. Yeah, I know you guys knew which one it was, okay? I know you can read, hopefully. Yes, today we are talking about Illumination's The Grinch, or How That Grinch Stole Christmas. I actually don't know how that's titled because it's like not really titled the same. I'll put it up on the screen. So at this point, people may know that I might have a beef with Illuminations, and it's not for one specific thing where I think all their movies is bad. It's genuinely for a weird Illumination issues that I have, which is why I plan to make an Illuminations video after, talking about all of the Illumination movies. So yes, that's gonna take me 30 years, but hey, I am willing to put in the work for it. And they made a Grinch movie. Let me just tell you, back in 2018, I was nowhere near interested in this. I was like, yeah, no, I don't like anything about this, and I don't care to see it. And I did not watch it until this very year, just like the goddamn Lorax. What is with this year and me watching movies I've never seen before? Anyway, so I watched it, and I have some thoughts, so let's talk about it, especially since it's Christmas. I just want everyone to know these are my opinions. If you like this movie, that is completely fine. If you did not like this movie, that's also completely fine. I have my issues, and I will talk about them after, of course, a very abridged, not the most accurate summary of the actual movie. With that much said, let us move on to the actual movie. So the movie starts showing off the ugly fugly Who's of Whoville, like their eyes are so close together that they might legally be considered Cyclops. Also, just gonna put this point out here now, I think the Who's aren't furry enough. I know they weren't that furry in the original one, but I feel like they should be more furry. They kind of just look like Illuminations humans, which I'll get on to the point of the Illuminations art style very soon. But for now, just know I think they all kind of just look like humans, and I don't really like it. After that, we see our titular character is a Grinch. And why the heck is he wearing tighty whities? Like, ew, that's disgusting. Like, why is he wearing that? Ew, why my eyes? Also, I just have to point this out now. This rendition version of the Grinch song is terrible, literally horrendous. I don't know who decided to do this, but it's bad. I can't really play much of it in here. I'll see if I can get away with a clip of how it sounds, at least the funniest part, but like, I don't think the Grinch music should have been remade like this. I think nothing will be better than the classic variation of the Grinch. And if you say, oh, you're just a stickler, no, I'm not. It's straight up just bad. Like, take the time, watch the beginning of this movie and hear that rendition of the Grinch. Okay? Yeah, hear it. It's bad, bro. It's bad. Anyway, you go through the scenes of him going through his house. You see his little dog, Max. I don't know what kind of dog that is, but he straight up looks like he's from The Secret Life of Pets. And also the Grinch wears Grinch pants, and I don't think I will ever recover from that. He puts on his shoes, he looks for food, and looks like there's no food because apparently he's been emotionally eating or something like that. I don't know what's going on with the Grinch in this movie. Also, I'm not trying to trash or sound like such a negative Nancy, but I don't really care for the Grinch's voice in this. I feel like it's okay. The Grinch kind of just sounded sinister originally, but like whatever, if they're going for a different thing in this, it's fine. It's fine. Anywho, he decides to head out in town with his dog and a little wagon to go grocery shop. You get a bunch of scenes of him essentially just terrorizing the people of Whoville because why the freak not, I guess. And then he starts getting chased down by a bunch of carolers who are singing God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, which I'm sorry, that's actually kind of funny to me. I don't know what. The fact of being chased down by a bunch of carolers and more of them joining in is actually a very funny scene. I will give Illuminations that's actually funny. Anyway, he's a menace in the grocery store, breaking stuff, eating stuff. He ate a pickle and spat it back in there. That is a health code violation. But he went on and, did that stuff and got all his food in his little wagon. And then we cut to the next scene. I am definitely out of order with this, but we cut to the scene where you see Cindy Lou Who's mother Betty Lou Who. She's a single mom who fell asleep on the bus on top of another person, which is questionable on its own. But, you know, she's a single mom. She's working the night shift. She's working hard, okay? And, you know, after that scene and then whatever scene I'm missing in between that, you see Sydney Lou who she is like in her house, and you see her mom taking care of her little ugly brothers. I gotta stop insulting children, bro. It's actually bad. It's becoming a problem. But anyway, she goes through there. You see her mom struggling to make breakfast, and Sydney Lou is going outside to send a mail to Santa. And she goes off and like sleds down the hill. I don't know why, but I just don't really care for the depiction of Sydney Lou Who in this. I know they're trying to make her more like a generic kid, but to me, it's just like, I don't like it. I feel like it's a very generic depiction of kids and stuff, especially girls now, and I'm like, it's okay. I kind of preferred when she was just a toddler. I think that's kind of funnier, but whatever. I also want to point out, I really don't care about the Who's in this movie. Genuinely don't. Every time I cut to the Who's, I'm just like, okay, I guess. I also want to mention that Whoville is humongous in this, when in the original Grinch movie, Whoville was like 8-9 houses. So I guess Whoville is different. Also, it's very technologically advanced. I don't know what it is up with Illumination movies and making everything like technologically advanced. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe that's just an Illumination trope that I need to take note of. After that, she skis down the slope and nearly assassinates the Grinch. He yells at her and berates her and tells her to talk to Santa face to face. And then he walks off and sees the happiest Who alive, who is this guy. He looks like some animal. I can't quite tell what it is. His voice also sounds extremely familiar. If I figure out who it is, I will note that, okay? This guy thinks he's friends with the Grinch, which is okay, I guess. You know, it's always that where there's one person who's like, we're besties, but we're really not besties. We've never been besties, so stop speaking to me. I never want to see you or your family again. They talk for a minute against the Grinch's will, and he learns that Christmas is going to be 3 times bigger this year, which makes him think it's a joke. It was not a joke, obviously, but you know, you go on. You go forth. The Grinch goes home, and then you get some scenes with him and Max, which I do appreciate that he's no longer an animal abuser. He's not the worst animal abuser in the old one, but like animals didn't have rights until the 70s in America, so and some countries still don't have animal rights, so I'm really not surprised he treated his dog poorly in the original. But he's no longer an animal abuser in this, which is nice. You get a scene of Sydney Lou saying that she's gonna go to the North Pole. Her mom tells her it's gonna take about a month, and there. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't care about the Who's, but I wish to explain the movie somewhat accurately. Anyway, afterwards, you skip a couple days, and Max and Grinch are like talking, eating, and, you know, doing all the things you would normally do with your dog. Then he sees a flying Christmas tree and learns they really weren't joking about making Christmas 3 times bigger this year. So the Grinch gets mad at that, obviously. And then, you know, they go ahead and see that later in there. You see the town getting lit up and everybody's decorating, which, why are you decorating so close to Christmas? Like, that's weird. I usually try to decorate directly after Thanksgiving, but like, I guess not everybody's me. Either way, he builds a catapult and then he shoots himself at the tree to ruin like the tree lighting thing, but he accidentally makes the tree lighting entire thing. He's in the crowd and then he genuinely gets re-traumatized from his childhood, which, let's take a minute to talk about the Grinch's tragic backstory, okay? So first they gave the Grinch a tragic backstory just instead of making him a crotchety, grumpy old man, but whatever, it's fine. Here's his tragic backstory, all right? His tragic backstory is that the Grinch was an orphan that nobody cared about. He had no parents, he had no friends. He was just a sad, green, moldy boy who never got to celebrate Christmas with anyone. So of course, he isolated himself for 53 years. Wait, 53 years? How old is this man? What? He's 60 years old? Dude, you're an old man. A dinosaur. Bro, you're geriatric. Give it up, man. You already got 2.5 feet in the grave. Just give it up, home skillet. Give it up. Anyway, after that traumatic night, he decides that it's time to steal Christmas. And you know what? Do it, homie. Get over this trauma. Okay, then you get this scene of the Grinch.
Genius starts with the abs, Max.
Hey, yo, what the?
Yeah, like, why did they make the Grinch cringy? Like, why? In the original one, nowhere near cringy. He was actually quite sinister, quite scary. But, like, they made him cringe. The Grinch, more like the Cringe, am I right? You need to leave! I get it, jeez. Anyway, there's another Cindy Lou scene, and honestly, I don't give a flying fish stick about the Who's, but her and her dinky friend try to find out how to talk to Santa Claus. They go through all these scenes and try to figure out like trapping him with maple syrup and such. Just kiddo shenanigans. While this is going on, the Grinch tries to find a reindeer. He finds a goat. The goat screaming thing happens that has been around for literally 80 years at this point. Don't know why movies keep doing this. Like, this is in modern movies now. What is happening? Yo, bro, what the freak? Then he finds some reindeers, like a whole slew of reindeers. He's like, yep, it's time to get them reindeers. The goat comes and screams. By the way, the goat has been chasing him for a while now. He screams, he scares away all of the reindeers except one specific reindeer. I actually very much love this reindeer. He is very round and I very much like him. His name is Fred and I appreciate that. As you know, shenanigans commence, and then you get another scene with her and her friends, you know, Cindy Lou and her friends, and blah, blah, blah. I really don't care about them. I'm so sorry. Then we go back to the Grinch, and they steal a sleigh from the happiest who alive. Shenanigans ensue once again. They steal the sleigh, and then they go home. Of course, they do a whole montage of them getting ready to steal Christmas, and then, you know, Christmas. I guess. Also, I think it's really funny that the Grinch is an animal lover in this. Like I said, he was an animal abuser before, and now he's an animal lover. I think that's quite interesting. After that, Fred messes up the kitchen. Max gets jealous because he made him a cup of coffee that was like the greatest coffee alive. They go ahead and do some other stuff at their very long table. Long table. Long table. Long table. Anyway, they go ahead and use a drone type thing to go spy on the Who, so, you know, he knows who to rob, right? You know, it's fine. He needs to rob these folks, so, you know, he had to go scoop it out. His dog, of course, messes up. Shenanigans ensue. He crashes into the Grinch, and, you know how it goes. I am not trying to break this movie down scene by scene, so I'll just say this. There's another scene with the kids, and they nearly threw a kid out the window, which is always great, of course. Then the round reindeer left the Grinch for his family right before Christmas, because his family came, and Mr. Round Reindeer Fred was like, I gotta go back to be with my family. So the Grinch let him free, and, you know, now he has to have Max do the sleigh. So, of course, they made that up. That was from the original, so Max now, so he doesn't treat Max like dirt. And also, Max is really strong for some reason. And now this is where it goes more towards the original story. They rob every single person blind except PS technology now, which is an interesting, you know, addition. I'm okay with that. I'm pretty dandy with that. He robs everyone, like I said, every single person. Of course, he takes a crumb that not even a mouse wanted. Anyway, after this, you know, he robs Cindy Lou's house last, even though hers was the first house. And she traps him, which makes it different. Instead of it being like, oh, she's just an innocent widow girl, he didn't do anything like that, that wishes for her mom, you know, to be better and stuff like that and have a good time. He sends her off with a drink and he still robs her blind. Then towards the morning, he's gonna drop the stuff off the cliff, which don't even know what to say. You see all the Who's being like, oh my gosh, Christmas, Christmas, oh my gosh, Christmas is ruined. And I'm so sorry for speaking like this. I genuinely am. Anyway, then he hears the Who singing, you know, the generic Dahu Doris, Fahu Forest, Christmas time is here, I think. Anyway, those guys start singing it up. And then, you know, he's like, oh man, I feel bad for this. They're still celebrating Christmas even though I stole all their stuff. And so on and so forth. The Grinch, his heart grows 3 sizes. It grows larger than what his chest cavity is, which I don't know about you, but that sounds like a medical condition to me, and bro needs to head to the emergency room, but it's fine. In this movie, it's fine. He has a heart now. Also, this just a mention, I don't think the Grinch from this movie had red eyes, if I'm correct. The Grinch did not have red eyes in this, or yellow like out things. That's why he was straight up scary. He's not scary in this. He kind of looks like an animal now. I forgot to mention that earlier, but I just gonna mention it now. So his eyes don't turn blue like they originally did, which I don't really care about in the first place, but like, he has green eyes in this for some reason. He's just very green. Very green, man. Very moldy. Anyway, man, the Grinch, you know, his heart grows and then he goes to apologize. They forgive him. Cindy Lou, who invites him to dinner, he has dinner with all of them and he gets along with everyone. You know, they forgave him even though he committed the greatest scheme of larceny of all time. That's crazy work. We forgive them. If it was me though, I would be like, let's forgive him today. And then bro is going to jail. He's going to prison. He just robbed everybody in now. What the freak? Anyway, that is the end of the movie, and let me just say the ending song also sucked. I hated it. That was painful, okay? That was genuinely painful. Oh yeah, also Fred the reindeer and stuff like that. I forgot to mention this earlier, but Fred the reindeer, the dog, they pull him up instead of him having the strength of 10 Grinches plus 2, which is 12 Grinches, I guess, or something, I guess. I don't know, the original one was weird. And that there is the end of the Grinch movie, the Illuminations, the Grinch movie. So, okay, let me talk about a couple of things first. First, the original Grinch movie, we all know this by now. I'm not gonna explain the original Grinch movie to you. Like, read the book or watch the 20-minute special. It's not that much of a waste of your time. I love the original Grinch. I think it was great. This differs a lot because the Grinch was actually a menacing individual. I would genuinely be scared of the Grinch. I would think that his solution, instead of robbing them in the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas movie would be, like, I genuinely believe from the way he looks and how scary he was, that his solution to getting rid of the Who's and their Christmas Forever would be to eat them. I can't say it's not a bad solution. Like, if something gets in your way, eat it. But no, seriously, he was genuinely terrifying, and I think that's what this movie was missing. They instead made him a cringy, how can I say this? It's very millennial. I don't know how else to explain it. This is very millennial humor, in my personal opinion. It's very cringe. Not that I have anything against some of the scenes. No, some of them were fine, but some of them were just cringe. That's really it. And I don't use that word lightly. I don't often use the word cringe, but this movie was weird, and I don't really like it. Yeah, so my overall opinion is that I think this movie gets a 3.5. Because it's questionable. Let me just say it's questionable. I don't know why Illuminations does this to their movies. Like, Illuminations have a very weird thing where a lot of their movies feel the same, or they just base off of weird humor. And yes, I know this movie is for kiddos. It's for the kiddos. But I think the kiddos deserve better. Let's be 100% honest. I think the kiddos deserve better. This movie was kind of weird, and I see why it had low ratings. Like, I'm not saying it's the worst movie on the planet, but like, it's not very great in my personal opinion. I think they could have made it better, and I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more if I learned that it was better. I'm sorry, that's it. I don't think it was terrible. Like, animation wise, it was gorgeous, of course. Illuminations make amazing looking movies, but like, it still has the illumination issues that I tend to have with a lot of Illumination movies. And also, my problem comes from as well is that I hate the Illumination art style. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. The Who's looked human, and I don't really like that, okay? I do not like that the Who's weren't furry and they look too human for me. So yeah, I don't really enjoy that. So yeah, that's about it for me. I just wanted to talk about this because I just like talking about movies sometimes, bro. I don't know what other movie I'm gonna do next. I have a lot of videos in the work for next year that I didn't get to upload this year. Also, I'm sorry for missing November. And yeah, that's about it. So tell me, what's your opinions on the Grinch movie? Would you watch this? Is this a holiday classic to you? Do you think it's better than the stinky old Grinch movie? I don't know. Tell me. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, of course, give it a like, maybe even subscribe. And please stay tuned for my future video on why the Grinch should have ate the Who's instead.